research is in food communication. So my background in agricultural communication kind of naturally leads me or kind of prompts me to ask questions about how people, kind of consume food and the communication that surrounds food and the culture of food and food trends. So like right now I'm working on a study about women and how women kind of make decisions regarding food and the sources of information they use in making those decisions.
I guess I started off because I was interested in the dark side of interpersonal relationships, and so I studied romantic betrayal and deception and how people win each other back after relational transgression has happened. And that led me into thinking through, well, if I want to study this dark stuff, at least I want to do something positive with it in the end. And so I started studying health communication and how people undermine our health decisions with the words they say, whether or not they mean to or not.
I just finished up a project with a student about McDonald's and kind of the marketing practices and the changes, McDonald's marketing techniques over time. That was a really interesting study, and I was super proud of the way it turned out. It was a great undergraduate student project.
We're working on a study of sarcasm and how, if it comes from a coworker versus a boss, how it's perceived. So that's kind of a fun topic that we're working on with a graduate student. And then also working on understanding how police officers navigate discussions with their spouses around delicate situations and how it kind of leads to potential betrayal situations that they don't mean to. So I can't discuss something with you, but I want to, or I don't want to hurt you or make you exposed to this violent world that I live in. And
the capstone that I have always taught was PR campaigns, and now we call it strategic communication campaigns, just to take a broader, kind of more integrated communication approach. In the course that I teach, we have student teams that act like little agencies, communication agencies, and they work with a community client, typically nonprofits, but every now and then we have a for-profit business as a client. And they work with them throughout the course of 2 semesters to develop a campaign plan and then pitch those ideas to the client, and once gaining approval, if gaining approval from the client, actually implementing that campaign and evaluating the efforts. So it's an extremely pragmatic experience. I mean, they are making an impact for the client, and they're kind of getting to see that impact firsthand and pretty immediately, which is a great gratification for them. But it's also a great portfolio building experience. And for me, again, in being able to select clients that need the help and then kind of matching those with our students who excel in those areas is a fun thing to do.
It's more organic, so it's really dependent on what the students come in with interests. And so I tend to argue that I take their bucket list of either academic or personal accomplishments that they've always wanted to do, ... and we work towards making sure that those happen by the time that they're done. And so we watch a lot of TED Talks and Upworthy videos and a Soul Pancake, and they just get inspired by something and then they work to recreate it. So they've done things, whether it's personal, they've always wanted to do a fundraiser, and so they've created that. And somebody else, their bucket list was, to go skydiving, and so they worked hard to make that happen as a group and organized it. And somebody else is going to teach self-defense because they always wanted to learn it, and so they're going to take that and teach the class in March. It's very different, but they're learning communication within it because they're having to navigate worlds. They have to find mentors to help them kind of guide, so when they're graduating from here, they have kind of a step in motion for life after college.
I think what's super cool is that both these classes actually really reflect our personalities. We're really good friends, and coming in together was such a blessing. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm very just like, this is the way we do things. Here it is, very controlled. And Marissa's awesome at adaptability and flexibility and just kind of like rolling with the punches and seeing how things turn out. And that like frightens me. I'm like, oh, we don't know where we're going and how we're doing it. So it's just neat to hear how the courses are also, kind of how they roll out, and they are reflective of both of our.
And they're both so well received by the students who take them. And
it's funny because like I definitely have a work face and a home face, and that's one thing that I love about Merissa. Like, she has one face. It's like, here it is. Here it is. And
everybody knows everything about me and my family. And
a lot of what I do now is an influence of FFA, which I know today most students don't even know what that is. Great. But I was in Future Farmers of America in high school. And I know that makes me sound like the ultimate nerd. I know I'm not the nerd,
but you're a good nerd. You're totally a nerd. You have to to know you're a nerd, but you're good.
But yes, I was a leader at FFA
And she was a cheerleader?
and a cheerleader and a rugby player in college
And a bartender.
and a bartender, and I love to sing and dance.
Yes, I have twins. I have a
not
boy and a girl.
Twins.
Yes. And I love them dearly, and I took them and my husband, and we were part of semester at sea.
And they're awesome. They have like at 4 years old, they have this crazy passion for life, just like their mom and dad.
We created a 4-year-old bucket list because they start school full time next year, and so we've been slowly working through our bucket list. And so yesterday we went and built the ultimate sandcastle hill on the Isle of Palms, so that we could have a really fun time with it. Yeah. So that was fun. So we're slowly working through our before they start kindergarten bucket